Hello everyone, welcome to the Do New Talks. This is Aryan Kadri, and this is the Do New Talk where we bring forth entrepreneurs, VCs, accelerators, mentors, incubators, and many such interesting people. And we talk to them about their experiences and the challenges that they faced in their own personal startups. And today, we are in luck because we have with us Mr. Rahul Basak sir, who is the co-founder and the CEO of Amber Canvas, and he's also the co-founder and the chief editor of the My Canvas Talk. He's also the director of ADRB Art Private Limited, and in fact, he's a great public speaker. He has referred to many people in his TEDx talks, his Joe's talks. He has referred to many colleges, including even the IITs and many such institutions. And today it's our luck because he is with us discussing about his own startup. So yes, sir. Firstly, it's a pleasure having you. That's the first.
See, first of all, it's my
Yeah.
pleasure as well because whenever I see like the people, guys like you are doing such a wonderful job. Because at our time when I used to be at college or like that scenario, I probably didn't even hear of the term called entrepreneurship because
Oh.
people are not talking about that so much. So right now, you guys are doing such a great job. Like people who are willing to talk to us. In various people, they never actually get the opportunity to directly talk to us and communicate in such a way. But you guys are bringing with such a good questionnaire, such a good platform, so that I think most of their ideas get stabilized at the very beginning of their journey. So that is what I think. Thank you very much for having me over here.
Absolutely. So, sir, yeah, you mentioned something very interesting that during the time that you started off, when you were you were in college at that point of time, entrepreneurship wasn't that relatable to your set of peoples. Then, how did you came across the idea of entrepreneurship and maybe just like starting your own company? Like, how did you learn about the process and everything?
See, what happened is I do belong from a very hardcore business family. So even I guess after starting my business and spending 2 or 3 months, then people started calling me entrepreneur. I said, "Oh, okay. I used to call myself a businessman, and right now I'm an entrepreneur." Okay, fine. Then I gradually understand like what is the difference between an entrepreneur and businessman, and that is very much required if someone is coming to the business. I have made a very basic differentiation for both of them. I take it as a journey of a scientist. See what happens, scientists when they are going to invent something or they are going to make something new, the process is they do not commit with one day. They have to make it experiment regularly, and they process with A B C model, and then suddenly B work, and
Hmm.
then they remodify the B. That is the journey of an entrepreneur. In the same case of business field, we don't come along with the complete predefined success journey or success path. So what we do is like we choose A B C D business model, and among them some of get actually work. And in some cases, suppose if I talk for the normal business, then what happened is there it is like something predefined, like my father is doing. Then somebody have done that same thing, and they are just continuously repeating that thing. That is a predefined business model. So yes, that is the case of entrepreneur. We want to experiment with the people. We want to experiment with the services.
Hmm. Interesting. That's a pretty interesting thing that you thought it was a businessman, but it wasn't something absolutely new. So coming to your specific venture, so if you can talk about it more, that how that you mentioned the new aspect that you were different from general business because you had that initiative taking. So if you can mention more about that.
Yeah. So I I'm a personally a documentary photographer. So I am one of the person who is holding the international Adobe's medal, and not only that, I am also a winner of MTV Nescafe Lab by that time. So when these all things are happening, I remember still after doing and achieving national and international recognition, when I still come in front of the people, when they ask me like, "What do you want to do?" I never felt like that confident to tell them I'm an artist. I want to be an artist. I always said, I'm a software engineering student, so probably I will go for software engineering and all that stuff. But I remember I'm a traveler also. Like, each and every year I travel one country, and that is also completely solo. And I remember that time I was at Hong Kong International Art Film Festival. So there I was talking to few people, and when I asked them, "What do you do?" they said it with super confident, like they are an artist, they are working in the field of art. And coming back to India, I never got that confident. So I wanted to create some a platform where people can come and sell their artwork directly to the international market, and they can feel like that confident again. And for the future people, future generation, they should never feel like that what I am going to do with my paintings, I will never make money from that. So that is the stereotype model that I wanted to break. And from that we started, me and my friends started our canvas. And after that we started my canvas talk. That is also basically when we look at the statistic, 264 million people right now in this world are under depression. So we wanted to do something about that. Sorry. So we wanted to do something about that. So one thing I have noticed being a public speaker, that is stories can inspire each other. The story should be genuine. Like if you have failed, then you should tell it in front of the face. Like I have failed. And when you are being genuine storyteller, then definitely your story should contain that vibration to inspire others. That is what also happened with us. We used to see the TED Talks, we used to see the other talk platforms. Then we thought, okay, let's create a platform where it will not be that much of commercialized. It will be more like that speaker are standing on the stage and they're allowed to cry. They're allowed to open their heart. So yes, that is why we created My Canvas Talk, and that is also going great. Within 6 months we crossed 1 lakh views, and we are right now in
Oh.
6 to 7 states of India, and we are also gradually moving forward. India se bhi bahar ja rahe hain hum dheere dheere. So yes.
That's so great, and I loved your approach towards art. That other people were like that India does not care about art. Your approach was that there are people who care about art. You just need to get to the right audiences. It was,
Exactly, because if
yeah.
we look at the Indian heritage, then India is a place for artisans, right?
Hmm.
From since the beginning of the time. And not only that, the point is, what is the point of being an entrepreneur if I cannot make others people, entrepreneur? So my thought was like, someday I will, we will, rather it better say, we will create a platform where every artist who are joining us, they should feel like that they are entrepreneur by themselves. We are
Hmm.
here to give you the platform, but it's your duty to make it visible. So yes.
That's pretty interesting. So, regarding the outreach part, given that you need to get to international people, and you are starting from the right from the basic startup level. So, how did you start basically maintain that outreach and made it and marketed it to international audiences?
See, I truly believe in one thing, that is, if you are a humble person and you know how to say hello, then the rest of the world is yours. That is a very it sounds like two line, but if somebody can really apply that thing or approach that thing inside, then the world become easy. See, at the period of lockdown, when everybody is crushing, most of the people are like closing their works. In that period of time, we have not only stepped in 7 states of India, but also we are approaching in different countries as well. And all that thing happened in the lockdown time. When the COVID-19 came, we had no idea like we are going to do something like that. But based on the lockdown, we started this whole thing. And why these all things happened? Because we truly said, like, I believe in networking, but I believe more in friendship. You understand, like, that is the point. Like, when you have friends from different places, just ask them that, bro, dude, I want to do this thing, but I have no idea like how to proceed it. You have to approach them in such a way that they feel okay, I really don't know. And there is nothing wrong if you don't know. That is completely fine. Suppose right now I'm planning to make it on Dubai, then I have no idea what is the VAT system or GST system over there. So I
Hmm.
have to know it, right? So it's completely fine. Just ask them and get started with the journey.
Hmm. That's a decent approach. That just
Yeah, exactly.
because they also know that somebody is curious and willing to know, then they would also be
Exactly. But
well
the
rather.
pattern is
Yeah.
people usually get messed up with their attitude. I don't like that thing, because when you are carrying that attitude, suppose if I feel like that I'm a 3 time TED Talk speaker, I have done IITs, NITs, and blah 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 blah. Then If I am carrying that attitude, then my approach will be like, something different. It will be super formal, super way. But that is not how I did. My process was very simple. Instead of mail, I sent them WhatsApp. Bro, I am planning to do this thing. Can you help me? And then we move to the email. But that hello is super important. You
Hmm.
have to be super humble and super genuine person. Then the rest of the world is yours.
Hmm. So in context is like literally knowing that there is a person there who can help you. You use like some platforms like LinkedIn or such platforms, or what was the process?
I think literally LinkedIn changed my life. It's very true. I remember when I used to do LinkedIn for my college days, I never took it very seriously because definitely Facebook was a thing that time. And I remember, like, for the 4 years, 4 long years of my engineering journey, I had only 40 followers. And after using LinkedIn for past 1.5 years, right now I have more than 12,000 followers. And it really helped. It really helped to, at LinkedIn, what happened, like most of the people are there for work, not for the job, but for the work, for the collaboration, for the work, for the opportunities, and all that stuff. And yes, that is how it works. LinkedIn is a specific way. I spend most of the time in social media, then it is only happen to be on LinkedIn. Sometimes I just delete the other, platforms. Like, I don't need them because they are not bringing me money.
Indeed. So right from the startup, so how did your business then start growing? Like then most more artists started approaching. Was it like the artist who initially approached you started referring other artists? What was the growing process?
The process is very simple. You have to create an ambience. Okay, first of the thing will be like, the day I launched our first company, that time we already had 10,000 followers in our company page. Now imagine a company is not even registered, not even the website is there, nothing is there, but you have 10,000 followers and most of them are organic. Why? The question was, we created the ambience, like, if you are a painter, then you don't need to lose your hobby. That was a poster only. Then
Hmm.
below it was mentioned, like, something is coming up. So that day we launched the website, at least thousands of thousands of people just fall, just came into that website to see like what is going on, why they were saying like, if you're a painter then you don't have hobby. And that is how it started. Like, most of the people started coming, then we did a lot of press conference. But yes, digital media is always the cheapest way to spread the publicity.
Okay, so my next question to you would be that given that you have to reach out to these artists, so how did you started with that? Because you might be having just a handful of artists. So how did you expanded and had a larger audience of artists itself, as in the customers who were selling the things, the sellers, I would say.
The basic starting point should be for any startups will be like digital marketing, because at that time we really have low budgets. But there is some tricks. Everybody is putting money, but how much efficiently you are doing the marketing, that is the trick. I remember the time when we even launched the website, we had more than 10,000 followers on our social media handles. So how this thing happened? Because we started a campaign like this, something, if you are a painter, then you are never going to lose your hobby. If you are an artist, then we are creating a home for you. Like the words, the signs that they can feel. If you are going for this service, like, where B2B and B2C both are involved, in both of the cases you have to understand the customer or the people's in the business, your heart, their heart. So what their heart is looking. So everybody is doing their to promote themselves, but we were doing their promoting the services that we are actually facilitating. So by doing so, when the website we launched the website, at that same day there is thousands and thousands people started visiting, and that again helped us for the Google ranking and other stuffs as well. But more importantly, I think the service before us was not that much of available in India. So that is the why people started talking about it. Most of the journalists, most of the artists, they started talking about it. And वो जो होता है ना बातों का बात, like, if somebody is getting the service, then they are referring to others in such a way, it create a big community. And that is what exactly happened with us.
Yeah, so that's a beautiful balance, that digital marketing and along with digital marketing, like ये that just referring to each other कि एक इंसान ने दूसरे को बोला और ऐसे एक काफी
Right.
explosive people हो गया.
Right. When you are doing business in India, the first thing you have to mind, like you have to come up with a jugaad. And suppose you have like 50 rupees in your hand and you have to come up with something with this 50 rupees as much efficient as it possible. 50 रुपीज हाथ में रहता है तो स्पेंड करना बहुत इजी हो जाता है. आप कुछ भी डाल दो वो चला जाएगा. बट हाउ मच एफिशिएंट इट इज गोइंग टू बी, दैट इज व्हाट इट इज गोइंग टू बी मैटर एट द एंड ऑफ द डे.
Hmm. That's pretty great. So this page was on Facebook, if I'm not wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
Right now we crossed 32,000. Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty great. You already started with 10,000 and it's growing exponentially. Uh, yeah, so then working with a team. So you told that you are a co-founder, which means that there are more people. So how did you work with the team, and how did you denote it that this is your role in the startup, this is your role, and that's how we will help each other grow?
See, I think I still remember the day. Yeah. Not problem. See, I clearly remember the day when I was sitting at Hong Kong Marriott. I mean Stone Marriott, I suppose I what I remember. So when I come up with this idea, okay, like we have to do something. The next day I took a flight. I straight come to Kolkata, from Hong Kong to Kolkata, and from the airport I straight visited my friend's home, and I just asked him like, bro, this is what's going on my mind. So what do you think? So without a delay, he said, man, let's do it. And that literally changed the entire perspective. So if you're talking about team and if that is including the co-founder, then I'm pretty much sure if that day he was not that much of enthusiastic, then I think we never started the entrepreneurship journey. So I think every people who are around it with you, like surrounded with you, even the people who have not done that much of good with us, ठीक है, कुछ कुछ होता है ना पैसे लेके भाग जाता है, सो ऐसा भी हुआ है हम लोगों के साथ. So there will be a lot of people, but everybody lives something. If you are a brilliant leader, then you will understand every hack. Like, okay, this is something that person have done wrong with you, but there must be something learning that you are never going to repeat that kind of situation. And talking about how we did manage to identify our roles, I think at the beginning there was no role. Okay, at the beginning we started giving each other a lot of jobs, but then gradually we understand, see, it takes time. It's just like a marriage. It takes time to understand what is the people's job, what is the people's responsibility, where they find interest. So even for us it took 1 year. Then after we understand, okay, the technical stuff I can do better, the law stuff, the account stuff he can do better. So this is where you can gradually understand, but never the main fault the startups are doing right now. They want to put the CEO stamp, they want to put the CEO stamp, they want to put everything at the very beginning of their journey. Don't do it. Rather, experiment. Like, just go with the flow. Like, first understand what is a job. Even without understanding the job, how could you differentiate the role? I
And
hope I'm making sense, right?
yeah, absolutely, you are. Absolutely, you are. It's like that. It was always a puzzle in my mind, but yeah, now I am able to like make that jigsaw puzzle into something reasonable. And yeah, if you by the way, you can get such great information through Amar Canvas and their page. It is already you can follow their Facebook page, Instagram page, and the link to which we will also put it on in our YouTube description, so you can also go to the page and follow and check that out. So moving forward, I would ask this question that this is kind of like a boring question, but that given that you are coming from an engineering background, so there are so many trade laws, especially when you are trading internationally. There are many corporate compliances and all those tax systems and all that. So how did you got to know about those systems?
I never knew about those systems. The point, the beauty of being, if you are like organizing a company, you don't have to need you don't need to know everything. You might learn everything, but you don't need to know everything since the beginning of the day. What you have to do is to find out the perfect person who know it already. We are blessed that we have a very good legal system, legal support from our side. They know it better than us, and I have to trust them at the beginning. Otherwise, if I feel like the nahi bhai humko hi पढ़ के हमको ही सीख गए, हमको ही lawyer बन के ये सब करना है, then गया. then the business is vanished. Never follow that procedure. I think as a leader, your job will be to find out the right people and organize them in a proper balancing way. Whenever I try to hire someone, I just look forward whether that person is like intelligent than me. If the answer is yes, then please come and join me. We can work together. So that is the beauty. If somebody is stuck because they are waiting for something to magically happen with their self, and then they only can take the step, then my friend, you will be 80 and the entire startup world will be vanished, and the next COVID-19 will come and entire thing will be vanished from the, even your Aadhaar card will not be there. Business to chodi do. so so the point is very simple. I think the people who are great at that particular section, give them the responsibility. Your job is to just manage them properly. That is what you can best do.
Hmm. I guess that would be a great learning to our reader, our viewers as well, given that it's coming from you who is already associated with so many things, and you're still saying that that's just something that would be a great learning, that you cannot do everything at all the time. Of
That's
course,
not possible. That is not
yeah,
possible. Like, you're a human being too, right? And you have to spend time with your girlfriend as well, man.
absolutely. I'm sure personal life is as important as the business life. Yeah, absolutely. And coming to that part of it, that given that it's a business and gradually the art sector in India is also expanding more day by day, it would also be beneficial to your business. But along with that, you would also be getting more competition, maybe from the international platforms also, as well as new startups emerging from India also. So, how do you deal with the platforms in both the sectors?
I never entered any market to gain 100% profit of it. That is not possible. See, Ola is taking like how much percentage? Like, very, very minimum percentage of the entire market. Uber is taking very minimum percentage of the entire market. So it doesn't matter. The thing like, competitors aa jayega, business band ho jayega, that's a myth. The
Hmm.
the market is for like, up India ka population socho na, kitna bada hai. So that is a huge market. If you can earn 1 rupees from each and every person, then you are a billionaire, man. Right?
Hmm.
So the market is very huge. Never feared that thing. Just think like how you can make better your services. That is the thing. And as a competitor, I personally believe, like for my canvas talk as well, there are some predefined competitor who are there before us. But the point is, I am also speaker of that places, right? So the thing is, I learn from them. That is the beauty. Even if somebody is coming, then I learn from them. I can tell you a very simple story. I remember when I joined astrophotography. I'm an astrophotographer as well. So even recently for NASA India Space Talk, I was a speaker at NASA. So the what happened is, my teacher used to say, Rahul, if you don't know, that is fine. But when you will be know everything, then we will be together in the balance. Then we can learn together. And that time things will be pretty much, super fast, because that time we both are putting our brain into that theory. So that is same goes with the competition as well. If somebody is coming into the market to destroy someone, then that is not the equation. At the end of the day, he will be destroyed as well. The equation should be to work together, because at the end of the day, my job is not to earn more money. My job is to help artists. So if the artists are getting benefited out of it, then why not? Right?
Absolutely, and that's a quite a long-term approach. That just actually just defeating your competition is a very short-term approach, because then they would come up with something even better, maybe. But if we are having this long-term approach of learning and then understanding the industry altogether, that is a very long-term and approach towards success, I guess.
See, I told you now. I mean, my entire business in the family, and they are doing business for 50 years. And if I have learned something from them, then that is called patience. Okay. There will be days when you will feel like that, oh my God, I'm out of the question. There will be days when you will feel like that you are the king of the world. So both of the things will be there. But the point is how to deal with this, how to deal with your happiness, how to deal with your sadness. And more importantly, if somebody is coming into the field of entrepreneurship, then mental traumas become a really super important part of that. I really tell people to take care of their mental health, because I am taking, counseling for like 5 months. Because if somebody asks me why, because I say depending on my decisions, a lot of people leave. I cannot deal with my breakup, right? अगर मुझे breakup हो गया, then I cannot cry for next 7 days. Then if it is going to happen, then the company तो गया. समझो? So
Absolutely.
so dealing with mental health is very much important. So that is a request for me, from me to everybody who is watching it, and everybody who is going forward to their entrepreneurship journey or any journey. If you are not happy from inside, then it is become difficult to take any step. आपको हर एक step में कुछ ना कुछ feel होगा कि नहीं, this is not right, that is not right, and that is not exactly the because of the steps. That is because of yourself. So make yourself happy as much as possible.
Oh, that's a very optimistic approach, and that's pretty great. And absolutely, mental health, irrespective of whether which we are in any sector, it is important. Absolutely. If you would like to share any stories about any mistakes that you made and you learned from it, or anything fun that happened in the process altogether, some anecdote, something, it would be great.
The fun part is I make mistakes every day. That is the fun part. See, I told you already. I mean, if you are taking yourself as a business scientist, then things become easy. No scientists have done any miracles without doing mistakes. So chill, bro. I mean, you are not an alien. You are a human. So make mistakes. I mean, make as much mistakes as possible, but be smart enough to learn from that all mistakes. That is the beauty. I mean, mistake is like something mysterious thing. It will not open in front of everybody. It can give consequences to everybody. आपका mistake का जो consequences है वो सबको भुगाएगा. But इसका जो mystery होता है ना, it just only open to the people who are passionate enough to understand the mistake. आप एक बार इसको follow करना start कर दिए ना, then it become very easy. Like to give you an example. See, the day we started business, or that time we were like super immature. We had no connection in the industry. आप अगर राहुल बशक को गूगल करते तो राहुल गांधी निकल आता था. So that was the situation. But so that time we wanted to create the website, and everybody told us like, I am the best, I am the best, I am the best. And we had a very limited amount of budget, because how did we manage to get the budget? That's again interesting story. I sold my all cameras. I sold my all cameras, and one of my friend who was the co-founder, Mr. Amit Kumar Maheshwadas, he was saving money for his Royal Enfield, and he afforded entire money into the business. Okay, so that was how we started getting our fund. Our basic started fund, and now the beautiful part is, हमने जिसको पैसा दिया वो पूरा मैजिक से गायब हो गया.
Oh.
The website that we created was so shitty that we felt like that me as a person don't like that website. Then how could we make an effort to change that website or make it public? Okay, so that was a situation that really occurred really hard, because we had no any extra money and nothing like that. So then gradually we changed the policies. Gradually we started understanding, okay, this is our backend. But anybody who were like in our situation, like आप 2 लाख दे दिए फिर आपके पास zero पड़ा हुआ है, then they are supposed to quit that time. अभी नहीं होने वाला है, ये रास्ता जाने से पहले ही बंद हो गया. ऐसा कुछ फीलिंग आता है ना हम लोगों के अंदर, like before starting the work हम लोग अटक गए. So that was a situation. I think the most beautiful part is हमने उसको एक्सेप्ट किया, चलो भाई हो गया. And that is the reason that right now, if you go to Amar Canvas website, then you will see the minor UX changes is right now going on. Even the SSL and addition are going on, because we are creating this platform such a way, if anybody is opening from US, if anybody is opening from UK, then the entire website will be changed and according to their country. Entire graphics, entire price tags and everything will be coming according to their country wise. So to make these all things possible, we had to understand that thing 2 years back or 1.5 years back. So that is the beauty. You are allowed to do mistakes, but again, आप हमेशा याद रखिएगा, you are above than your mistakes. You are the person who created your mistake, so feel like the god. Okay, you are the person who created your mistake, so you have nothing to fear with that. It will be always a praise. आप उनको बोलो कि भाई छोड़, तू गया, तेरा time past, you are in the past. Whatever the action I'm going to take, it's going to be my future.
Hmm.
That's it. That's the beauty.
Absolutely, and I can absolutely understand. It must have been very difficult, like you parting with your cameras, him parting with the bike, and after all this, it must be like some temporal trauma, and it must be very hard to deal with. So I can
And
understand that.
I dropped out from my.
Oh, that's already. So you, it can, you, it's very much evident how much, like, till what
Yeah.
extent have you done the contribution for the business. Absolutely. So coming to the conclusory part of it, any last words that you would like to give to our viewers about the business, about anything in life in general?
I think the answer will be बड़ा सोचने से कभी मत डरो. You know, the main problem I have seen with the people is like their soch is very narrow. Like, they are limited with their own imaginations. I don't like it. I think being an artist, my wings are very much spread. Like I can do or think anything, whatever I like. So if you are feeling like one day you will create a service which is mostly used by the people in the all over the world, then please trust it. You are the first person who is going to believe on your dreams or in your dreams. So be that person. Be the first person to take your own autograph. Be the first person to share your own happiness. That is the hardest job to do,
Hmm.
because when you don't have money to buy a simple chocolate, you don't have money to do parties, but you are dreaming about going out with Rolls Royce. You have to trust yourself, and I think that is the main procedure. Even I'm doing the same. I'm also like each and every day, like when I'm feeling sad, when I'm feeling depressed, when I feel like that I'm the most shittiest person in the world, but still I come up and I say, bro, chill, you have to make it. That's the
Hmm.
beauty. Do it and just
Absolutely.
stop thinking कि मैं ये करूंगा, मैं वो करूंगा, मेरा वो होने वाला है, ये होने वाला है. The answer is आप कितना कर रहे हो. अगर आप कर रहे हो तो फिर होगा. आप सोच रहे हो तो फिर कभी नहीं होगा.
Absolutely, and this is a very positive approach towards everything. That concentrating on the process rather than just कि ये result कभी किसी दिन क्या करना है कभी आएगा ऐसा. That's a great thing, and that's a great note to end on. So before ending, just one thing that so for all the people, for all the viewers who are enthusiastic about starting off, and if you are also watching this, then there is this book which is from one of our own writers, which is called The Ease of Doing Business. And the book is about it is basically a compilation of several corporate compliances and exemptions for the startups. So if you are interested, then you can actually get the book, and the link to the book will be put in the description. And in fact, Mr. Rahul Basak is also featured in one of the footnotes in the book, so you can also catch him there. So with that, I guess that we come to the conclusion of this particular and a very insightful talk. So thank you, sir, for being here. It was a pleasure, sir.
Pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.